A train arriving just 15 minutes late is enough to make an entire platform in Germany sigh at once. This is a country famous for precision, yet trains still run late. Many stores still accept only cash, and supermarkets are almost completely closed on Sundays. What is surprising is that the more you explore, the more you realize that every one of these contradictions has a reason. From the Autobahn with no speed limit to castles that look as though they came straight from a fairy tale, Germany may be completely different from what you once imagined. Before we begin, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and leave a comment below telling us the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word Germany. Now, let the journey begin.
Number 10. Germany through numbers and rules. Germany is home to the Autobahn, a highway network where some sections legally allow vehicles to travel at speeds above 200 kilometers per hour. Yet in the same country, washing your car outside your home on a Sunday may annoy the neighbors, while many cafes still accept only cash, even though Germany is one of the world's leading technology powers. Every weekend, supermarkets close across the country, the streets grow quiet, and the entire nation seems to pause. These apparent contradictions come from the German respect for rules, privacy, and the clear boundary between work and personal life. Located in Central Europe, Germany shares borders with 9 countries. For centuries, it has served as a major crossroads for trade, and has also been the setting for some of history's largest conflicts. More than 80 million people live here, yet Germany is far from uniform. The country consists of 16 federal states, each with its own government, regulations, regional accent, and cultural identity. In southern Bavaria, the Alps and 1-liter beer mugs define the landscape and local culture. The north feels completely different, with the wind-swept North Sea, busy port cities, castles on coastal cliffs, ancient forests, and valleys covered with vineyards. Traveling from one end of Germany to the other can sometimes feel like crossing into another country. Modern Germany is relatively young. It was first unified in 1871 and reunited in 1990 after the fall of the Berlin Wall. Before exploring its cities, consider a few numbers that clearly reflect the character of this country. Germany has more than 3,000 officially registered varieties of bread, around 1,500 types of sausage, and nearly 20,000 castles. The Autobahn extends for more than 13,000 kilometers, although only about 2/3 of the network has no mandatory speed limit. Germany also has around 130 professional symphony orchestras, while most public universities charge very little tuition or none at all. As of 2026, the country is home to 55 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, placing it among the nations with the highest totals in the world.
Number 9. Berlin, where the past and the future exist, side by side. From those remarkable numbers, we now travel to Berlin, where Germany's history can be seen more clearly than anywhere else. If you expect a glamorous capital like Paris or Vienna, Berlin may surprise you. The city does not try to impress visitors with elegance. Instead, it openly displays the scars left by the 20th century and has never attempted to hide them. For nearly 30 years, a wall cut through the heart of Berlin, separating families, friends, and an entire nation. The Berlin Wall fell in 1989, yet several sections still remain at the East Side Gallery, where they have been transformed into an open-air art gallery stretching for more than 1 kilometer. At Checkpoint Charlie, the former crossing point between two opposing worlds has become a familiar place for photographs, although the weight of its history can still be felt. The Brandenburg Gate once stood beside the restricted zone between East and West Berlin. Today, it has become a symbol of a reunified Germany. Not far away, thousands of gray concrete blocks at the memorial to the murdered Jews of Europe compel every visitor to confront history in a deeply personal way. Nearby, the Reichstag building stands out with its glass dome, allowing visitors to look down into the parliamentary chamber below. The design serves as a reminder that political power must always remain transparent and visible to the public. In the Spree River, Museum Island brings together 5 major museums, filled with treasures representing thousands of years of human civilization. Berlin, however, does not live only in the past. Kreuzberg is full of energy, with its Turkish community and colorful street art, while Prenzlauer Berg offers a quieter atmosphere with cafes and young families. After nightfall, the city becomes a major center for contemporary art, electronic music, and creative life. Berlin was once described as poor but captivating, because it attracted young people searching for freedom. Along the same street, the past and the future continue to exist side by side. For the people of Berlin, that contrast is simply part of everyday life.
Number 8. Munich and King Ludwig II's unfinished dream. Leaving Berlin behind, we travel south to Bavaria, a region that feels almost like the complete opposite of the capital. If Berlin is where Germany confronts its past, Munich is where people come to enjoy life. At the heart of the city stands Marienplatz, home to the neo-Gothic New Town Hall and its famous Glockenspiel. Every day, mechanical figures reenact scenes from Bavarian history. Munich is greener than many people imagine. The English Garden lies within the city and is larger than Central Park in New York. Here, residents sunbathe, ride bicycles, and even surf on an artificial wave in the river. Every autumn, Oktoberfest transforms Munich into the center of the world's largest beer festival. In 2025, around 6.5 million people attended during 16 days and consumed nearly 6.5 million liters of beer. In Bavaria, beer is not simply a drink. It is part of community life. In beer gardens shaded by chestnut trees, visitors may bring their own food as long as they buy beer there, then share a table with complete strangers. South of Munich, the Alps rise into view, crowned by Zugspitze at 2,962 meters. Below the mountains are villages such as Garmisch-Partenkirchen, where houses decorated with painted murals stand beneath snow-covered peaks. Near the town of Füssen lies Neuschwanstein, a white castle with soaring towers surrounded by forests and mountains. The castle is widely considered an inspiration for Disney's fairy tale castles and welcomes more than 1 million visitors each year. In July 2025, Neuschwanstein and the other palaces of King Ludwig II were recognized as UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Behind that beauty lies the unfinished dream of a lonely king. Ludwig II began building the castle in the late 19th century. He withdrew from politics and devoted almost his entire fortune to creating his imaginary world. He died under mysterious circumstances before the castle was completed, leaving behind enormous debts. Today, visitors must reserve tickets for a specific time and prepare for large crowds during almost every season of the year. If you are still following this journey, subscribe to the channel and join us as we explore the destinations ahead. Every subscription helps us create more high-quality videos. Thank you. And now, let us continue.
Number 7. Along the Rhine, a journey through Germany's fairy tale towns. From southern Germany, follow the Rhine and Moselle rivers westward, where Riesling vineyards cover the steep hillsides and small villages rest quietly beneath ancient castles. Along the Rhine, a river cruise will carry you past the Lorelei Rock, where legend tells of a siren who once enchanted sailors. From the deck, fortresses appear one after another along both banks, which is why this stretch of river is often called the Castle Valley of Europe. In Cochem, Reichsburg Castle, dating back to the 12th century, stands high above the town, looking down on winding streets and the famous wine cellars of the Moselle region. Continuing to Cologne, you will find Cologne Cathedral, with its two Gothic towers rising high above the skyline. Construction began in 1248 and was completed only in 1880, after more than 6 centuries. Many generations of builders devoted their entire lives to the cathedral, without ever seeing it finished. During World War II, much of Cologne was destroyed by bombing, but the cathedral remained standing in the middle of the ruins and became a symbol of endurance. Cologne is also famous for Eau de Cologne and for Carnival, when the streets fill with costumes and music. To the southwest, Heidelberg appears with its red sandstone castle overlooking the Neckar River and its old town, home to Germany's oldest university, founded in 1386. The historic streets and the rhythm of student life give the city a romantic character, yet it never feels still or sleepy. Not far from Heidelberg, the Black Forest unfolds as a land of deep woods, misty valleys, and stories that inspired the grim fairy tales. It is also the home of the cuckoo clock and Black Forest cake. At the edge of the forest, Freiburg is known for its pedestrian streets and the medieval water channels that run along the sidewalks. From there, the romantic road leads to Rothenburg ob der Tauber, where the town walls and colorful timber-framed houses make visitors feel as though they have stepped directly into a fairy tale. Number 6. Vibrant Hamburg and Dresden's rebirth from the ruins. Not every fascinating German city lies along the country's familiar tourist routes. In the north, Hamburg feels like a completely different world, open, energetic, and always connected to places beyond Germany. It is the country's second-largest city and its most important seaport, where rivers, canals, and bridges shape the rhythm of daily life. What makes Hamburg especially remarkable is that it has more bridges than Venice, Amsterdam, and London combined. The Speicherstadt district, with its red brick warehouses that once stored coffee, tea, and spices from around the world, is now recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Nearby, the Elbphilharmonie, with a glass roof shaped like ocean waves, has been a modern symbol of the city since 2017. Its public viewing platform is free to enter and offers wide views across the harbor. After nightfall, the Reeperbahn takes on a completely different character. This was where the Beatles developed their live performance skills before becoming famous around the world. Hamburg carries the international energy of a major port city, making it very different from the orderly and reserved image often associated with Germany. These two cities reveal the country's many different identities. One looks outward toward the world, while the other lives with the weight of a lasting memory. In eastern Germany, Dresden tells a quieter story. The city was once known as the Florence on the Elbe, but in February 1945, almost the entire historic center was destroyed by bombing within only a few days. The Frauenkirche collapsed completely, and its ruins remained untouched for decades, as a reminder of the devastation caused by war. The church was not rebuilt until 2005, when surviving blackened stones were returned to their original positions beside newly cut stones. As a result, the facade still displays an interwoven pattern of light and dark. Dresden has risen again with the Zwinger Palace and the Semper Opera House, yet the city's beauty will always remain connected to the memory of a place that once lost almost everything and still chose to rebuild rather than forget. Number 5. The cost of living and everyday inconveniences in Germany. After seeing Germany's beautiful landscapes, it is time to discuss something that directly affects every trip: the cost. In 2026, one person living in Germany spends around €990 per month on everyday needs, not including rent. A one-bedroom apartment in a city center costs an average of about €860, although prices vary greatly from one city to another. In Saarbrücken, monthly rent may be around €500. while in Munich, it often exceeds 1,500 euros. An inexpensive meal costs between 8 and 12 euros, while a meal at a mid-range restaurant usually costs between 15 and 30 euros per person. Half a liter of beer at a bar costs around 4 to 5.5 euros, but the same amount may cost less than 1 euro at a supermarket. Döner kebab was once an affordable meal for students, but it now commonly costs around 8 euros. One surprising detail is that restaurants rarely provide free tap water. Bottled water can sometimes cost almost as much as beer, while a single public transportation ticket usually costs between 3 and 4 euros. In 2026, the minimum wage is 13 euros and 90 cents per hour, and every household must also pay a public broadcasting fee of around 18 euros per month. Germany is not inexpensive, but in return, residents benefit from good infrastructure, a reliable healthcare system, and a high level of public safety. Life here, however, is not perfect. Administrative procedures can feel like a maze of paperwork, filled with forms, official stamps, appointments, and even fax machines. New residents must register their address within the first 2 weeks, while opening a bank account, renting a home, or starting a job often requires many documents. Germany's rail system is no longer as punctual as its reputation suggests. Many small stores still accept only cash, and most supermarkets remain closed on Sundays. In cities such as Munich, Berlin, and Frankfurt, finding an affordable home is highly competitive. These difficulties do not make Germany a worse place. They simply reveal that behind its nearly perfect image lies an ordinary society with the same everyday inconveniences found elsewhere. Number 4. A Germany travel guide for international visitors. If you hold a Mexican passport or a passport from certain other Latin American countries, traveling to Germany is easier than many people expect. Citizens of Mexico, Argentina, Chile, Brazil, and Colombia may enter the Schengen area without a visa, for tourism, and stay for up to 90 days within any 180-day period. From late 2026, Europe is expected to introduce ETIAS, an electronic travel authorization, rather than a visa. Travelers will need to complete an online application, pay around 20 euros, and may use the authorization for multiple entries over a period of 3 years. Applicants under 18 and over 70 years old will not have to pay the fee. At the airport, you may need to provide fingerprints and a facial photograph during your first entry, under the new biometric border control system. Your passport must remain valid for at least 3 months after the date you plan to leave Europe. Most flights from Latin America to Germany arrive in Frankfurt, where direct train connections are available to many cities. When traveling around, the Deutschland ticket is a useful option. At a price of around 63 euros per month in early 2026, it allows passengers to use regional trains, suburban trains, subway systems, buses, and trams throughout Germany. However, it is not valid on long-distance high-speed trains, such as the ICE or IC. The DB Navigator app makes it easier to check schedules and purchase tickets. In daily life, Germans often round up the bill or leave a tip of around 10%. You should carry some cash, because certain businesses do not accept cards. And you should complete your shopping before Sunday, because most stores will be closed. Tap water is safe to drink, although restaurants usually charge for bottled water. Electrical outlets use 2 round pins and operate at 230 volts. English is usually sufficient in major cities, while a few basic German phrases can be helpful in rural areas. From late spring to early autumn, the weather is well suited for exploring nature, while December is the best time to visit Germany's Christmas markets. Number 3. German cuisine, where tradition meets immigrant culture. German cuisine is best known for its remarkable variety of sausages. Bratwurst is grilled until golden and can be found at markets across the country. Weisswurst is a traditional white sausage from Bavaria, usually eaten in the morning with bread and sweet mustard. Currywurst was created in Berlin in 1949. It consists of sliced sausage covered with ketchup and curry powder, and today, it is one of Germany's most iconic street foods. Beyond sausages, German cuisine also includes schnitzel, a thin slice of meat coated in breadcrumbs and fried until golden. Spätzle, soft egg noodles from the Swabia region. Sauerbraten, beef marinated for several days. And Kartoffelsalat, the familiar potato salad served at family meals. At the dining table, bread always holds a special place, especially the bretzel, with its salty crust and distinctive twisted shape. Beer is also brewed according to a centuries-old tradition known as the Reinheitsgebot, the beer purity law, introduced in 1516. The original law allowed only water, barley, and hops to be used. Each region has its own style, from Bavaria's Weissbier to the light Kölsch served in small glasses in Cologne. Along the river valleys, Riesling wine is often the more popular choice. Every region therefore tells its own story, through food, from a simple Bavarian breakfast to the small glasses of beer that are continuously brought to the table in Cologne's traditional pubs. For sweet dishes, Dresden is known for Stollen, a fruit bread eaten during the Christmas season, while Nuremberg is famous for Lebkuchen, a honey-sweetened gingerbread rich in warm spices. Germany's most popular street food today, however, did not originate in Germany. It is Döner kebab, a Turkish-style sandwich filled with roasted meat that immigrant communities developed into an everyday favorite. Through these flavors, Germany reveals that its identity is shaped not only by ancient traditions, but also by the people who arrived, built new lives, and chose this country as their home. Number 2. The German spirit, order, discipline, and the art of enjoying life. One word captures the spirit of Germany more clearly than almost any other concept: Ordnung, meaning order. Germans believe that when rules are clear and everyone follows them, life becomes more efficient and fair. That is why they wait patiently in line, obey pedestrian signals even when the road is empty, separate waste carefully, and consider punctuality a form of respect for others. What surprises visitors most is often their directness. Germans tend to say exactly what they think, without avoiding the subject or using vague language. For many Latin Americans, this communication style may feel cold at first. From a German perspective, however, speaking indirectly forces others to guess what you truly mean. They are not unfriendly. They are simply more reserved, and once they consider someone a friend, that relationship may last for decades. In daily life, you will encounter Pfand, a small deposit added when you buy a bottle or can, and refunded when you return the empty container. This system helps keep the streets cleaner, while recycling is divided into detailed categories, such as paper, organic waste, and different colors of glass. During quiet hours, known as Ruhezeit, especially at night and on Sundays, residents avoid vacuuming, drilling into walls, or making loud noise. Germans also enjoy community clubs, for everything from sports and choir singing to beekeeping. Almost any interest can become an organized group with its own rules. After work comes Feierabend, the part of the day reserved for family, friends, and rest. This does not mean Germans do not know how to enjoy life. In December, public squares turn into Christmas markets, filled with wooden stalls, the scent of cinnamon, baked treats, and hot Glühwein. In Nuremberg, the Christkindlesmarkt attracts around 2 million visitors each season. During carnival season, Cologne and Western Germany burst into life, with costumes, parades, and singing. These moments reveal that Germans do not live rigid or joyless lives. They simply choose the right time to work seriously and the right time to enjoy life completely. That is Germany's distinctive way of life. Number 1. Germany, a different way of life that helps us understand ourselves. Germany is more than a country of castles, autobahns, and precisely organized cities. It is a place where a train may sometimes arrive late, yet a promise once made is usually treated as something that must be kept. Germans may speak less, but they demonstrate reliability through their actions, their punctuality, and their respect for other people's boundaries. Here, warmth does not always appear through enthusiastic greetings or affectionate gestures. Sometimes, it can be found in a neighbor remaining quiet at night, a friend arriving on time, or an entire community following the same shared rules. Every Sunday, the pace of life slows across the country. Stores close, streets become quiet, and people spend time with family, friends, or simply by themselves. This does not come from laziness. It comes from the belief that rest is also an essential part of life. During the 20th century, Germany experienced war, division, and periods when the country came close to complete collapse. Instead of hiding its past, Germany chose to remember it, rebuild what was lost, and place the lessons of history at the center of its cities. Berlin, Dresden, and the country's many memorials reveal a society that understands rebuilding does not mean forgetting. For an American traveler, this way of life may feel both familiar and different. Americans often value openness, individual freedom, and speed, while Germans place greater importance on planning, rules, and personal space. At first, this reserved behavior may be mistaken for coldness. Yet after spending more time there, you begin to understand that it is simply another way of expressing respect and reliability. In the end, the greatest value of the journey is not measured by how many castles you have seen or how many cities you have visited. It lies in the opportunity to experience a different way of life, understand why people there think as they do, and return home with a broader view of the world and of yourself.
After this journey, Germany is revealed as more than a country of ancient castles, historic cities, and famous autobahns. Behind its serious appearance lies a society that values order, privacy, and time reserved for personal life. The more you learn, the more you realize that the things that seem contradictory in Germany actually reflect a very distinctive way of living. If this video has helped you understand the country better, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. What impressed you most about Germany? Thank you for joining us, and we will see you again on the next journey.